The government is addressing the problem of crime and the way it retards the growth and development of our society. Welcome to this edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Today we take a look at some of the measures being implemented to create a secure and just society. So stay with us. We have all this and much more for you. The news is next.
I had a plan for my life. I was going to be a doctor. I was going to be the first in my family to do great things. Then a friend of mine sold me into prostitution. He mashed up my life.
Stop human trafficking. It destroys lives. If you or anyone you know has been a victim of human trafficking, call 811 or 1-888-PROTECT. Be wise. Open your eyes. Spot them. Stop them. A message brought to you by the National Task Force Against Trafficking in Persons.
Good day, I'm Stacey Ann Smith, and this is your GIS News for Wednesday, March 11. Cabinet has approved a memorandum of understanding with an investment group that wants to invest in a series of logistics-related infrastructure projects to support Jamaica's Logistics Hub initiative. The announcement was made by Industry Minister Anthony Hilton at the opening ceremony of the Jamaica Investment Forum 2015. Andrea Chisholm is at the forum in Montego Bay.
Minister Hilton did not say which investor group will be signing the MOU to help support the development of the logistics hub and other connected projects. That information will be released in short order. But for now, the minister says the $5 billion investment looks promising.
The projects, which have a combined investment value of just over $5 billion US, will transform the business landscape for logistics in Jamaica and position the country for increased investments in related sectors.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller has assured the business community that the government will continue to improve the business environment to expand opportunities and grow the economy.
The Jamaica Investment Forum 2015 is about maintaining the momentum and building on the progress we are making in attracting world-class investments to our highly diversified economy.
So the second staging of the Jamaica Investment Forum is off to a very good start with over 90 international organizations, scores of local private sector interests, government officials and other stakeholders. They are all eager to do business in a number of sectors, including manufacturing, agriculture, tourism, logistics, international financial services and business process outsourcing. Reporting from the Montego Bay Convention Center, I am Andrea Chisholm for GIS News.
In the meantime, government's initiatives to promote local investment continue to find fertile soil. The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, through its investment arm, the AIC, has signed a lease agreement with Red Stripe for the use of 250 acres of land in Cheesefield, St. Catherine, to grow cassava. The crop is being used to replace imported barley in the company's beer brewing operations. Agriculture Minister Derek Kelly has lauded the move, saying it has opened up opportunities for farmers.
The lease agreement that we signed today represents another significant step in the nation's drive to expand the production and the use of local produced foods. This initiative by Red Stripe has now provided a market-driven demand for production and has opened a window of opportunity for our hard-working cassava farmers across the island.
Last year, the ministry and Red Stripe signed a lease agreement for 36.2 acres of land at Bernard Lodge, St. Catherine, for the pilot of the company's multi-million-dollar Project to Grow Cassava initiative. 500 acres of land will be cultivated over an 18-month period and involves training and jobs for 2,400 persons in cassava production over the next 5 years. Jamaica and Belgium are to strengthen bilateral relations following recent discussions between Foreign Affairs Minister Senator A.J. Nicholson and Belgian officials at the federal and regional levels. Senator Nicholson was in Belgium for an official visit from March 4 to 6. The possibility of a trade and investment mission to Jamaica in the near future was explored. In the meantime, the countries identified areas for cooperation, including sustainable development, renewable energy, security and port management. Minister Nicholson highlighted Belgium's existing support for infrastructure development in Jamaica, most notably through the supply of buses, construction of the Halfway Tree Transport Centre, and the future construction of a centre in Portmore by a Belgian company. The Foreign Trade Minister used the opportunity to invite Belgian investors to buy into Jamaica's logistics hub development plans. Senator Nicholson also met with Jamaican nationals living in Brussels and encouraged their continued support for Jamaica. He also expressed pleasure that for the first time there will be representation from the diaspora in Belgium at the 6th Biennial Diaspora Conference in Montego Bay in June. Information Minister Senator Sandria Faulkner has pledged Jamaica's commitment to a transformative post-2015 agenda in an address to the international community on Monday. She said this agenda must have sustainable development goals and equal rights for women and girls at its core. Minister Faulkner was delivering Jamaica's country statement to the 59th meeting of the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women, CSW 59, in New York. She added that the global community must ensure the creation of a holistic, practical and meaningful framework that builds on the positive foundation and conquers the scourges of poverty, marginalization, gender-based violence, discrimination and social exclusion which affect so many women and girls. The Information Minister also used the forum to highlight Jamaica's advances in preventing mother-to-child transmission of HIV, general population health and women's increasing access to economic opportunities. The delegation, led by Minister Faulkner, will return to the island on the weekend. And finally, government has fulfilled its promise to appoint a national rapporteur on trafficking in persons as part of measures to combat and eliminate all forms of the crime. Cabinet has approved the appointment of the children's advocate, Diane Gordon Harrison. One of the national rapporteur's primary functions will be to create a more objective reporting system on the issue of trafficking in the country. She's also being charged with conducting independent examinations or investigations of alleged human trafficking incidents and is expected to report on violations of victims' rights, among other things. The National Security Ministry, under which the office falls, says the powers of the National Rapporteur are consistent with internationally accepted best practices. Diane Gordon Harrison's appointment makes Jamaica the first Caribbean nation to embrace this approach, and the National Security Ministry says this can only serve to enhance Jamaica's anti-trafficking profile and shows just how serious the government is. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stacey Ann Smith. Thank you for watching.
This is one time we don't want you to laugh.
Staying safe on the road is a serious thing.
Mr. Taxi driver and bus driver, take time, man. People, so one-stop driver and come off.
Cyclists, motorcyclists, pedestrian, all road users using the head.
Only if you use cell phone and drive. No, man.
Idiot thing that.
Road safety is no laughing matter.
Because we want you to be around
and laughing with us for a long time.
A message from the National Road Safety Council and National Health Fund.
Restorative justice offers an alternative to resolving disputes. Through this approach, both victim and offender are partners in restoring the breach caused by a particular offense. In strategic priority number 3, security and justice, we look at how this method is being used in our criminal justice system.
A likely scene from a restorative justice session. An alternate form of resolving disputes. Restorative justice has taken a strong presence in Jamaica, already achieving lots of successes. With the pilot phase being rolled out for the past few years, work is progressing during this fiscal year to formalize the restorative justice program within the criminal justice system. This is a recurrent cry in Jamaica. Additionally, there's a call to cut the backlog of cases before our courts. A solution to these two major challenges to the country's justice system is restorative justice. Simply put, it's a process in which the offender comes face to face with the victim, and all affected parties are able to voice their hurt and regret of the wrong committed. It's an amicable approach to conflict resolution.
We see restorative justice as a particularly relevant approach to dealing with some of the social aspects of crime and the cultural aspects of crime that bedevil Jamaica.
In 2008, 4 communities were selected as a pilot for the program. To date, many persons and communities have been healed, leading the program to be expanded to more communities. There are now 9 restorative justice centers located across the country. Realizing the magnificent benefits, this fiscal year the government is moving full speed ahead with the restorative justice program as a process to improve security and justice in the country. Legislation that will facilitate the formal recognition of restorative justice in the criminal justice system is being drafted.
Going to Cabinet shortly for the approval to issue the drafting instructions to enable the legislation to be prepared to allow referrals of cases that are actually before the courts into the program.
The legislation will enshrine a referral system in the formal criminal justice process.
The process will include both post-trial interventions involving parolees before the release of their sentence from prison. So it moves, restorative justice can be engaged from the very early stages of an incident or crime through to a post-trial situation where somebody is actually convicted and sentenced.
Also, during this fiscal year, several initiatives are being undertaken to ensure there are no loopholes when the program is implemented in the formal justice system at the national level. One critical venture is the training of several magistrates and judges, so the necessary parties are knowledgeable of restorative justice practices.
So that we can really have the program working on a national level.
This fiscal year, the youth have also been brought into the mix as a priority for sustaining the program in the country. Research has shown that restorative justice reduces the levels of deviant behavior among adolescent students, while improving the overall climate for learning in institutions which have been plagued by unruly behavior.
The National Restorative Justice Policy mandates the Ministry of Justice to implement restorative practices in schools, and that process will actually be managed by the Ministry of Education, and we have already developed the modules and presented them to the Ministry of Education, and they have accepted them to work restorative practices into the curricula across Jamaica.
Also, this year, 2 additional restorative justice centers are to be established, one in West Kingston and another in Mountain View. Implementing restorative justice within the criminal justice system will no doubt increase public confidence in Jamaica's justice system.
Urging the support of the Jamaican people as we seek to deepen and strengthen the restorative justice program, which involves building partnerships with stakeholders across society, really to strengthen our justice landscape and provide access to justice and meet the ever-present echoing demand of our people. We want justice.
The government is committed to a reformed justice system, implementing strategic measures to achieve a structured and efficient operation of the island's courts and judicial process, facilitating effective governance for a secure and just society.
Social programs are integral to any crime reduction strategy. These programs provide skills training and alternative livelihood engagement, primarily for unattached youth. We now take a look at how the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, through the Japan Social Development Fund, has been modifying disruptive behavior of young people in inner-city communities.
Well, I would like to say wonderful thanks for them in coming in March Pen not only by getting me into this program, but they have been doing a lot in my community.
I've learned a lot, and I'm putting what I've learned into play, building my house, working with the workers there. And it's a good experience. I've learned a lot.
Have you seen them? They may be somewhere in your community undertaking a project that is geared towards fostering holistic development. The Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF, was formed in 1996 as part of the government's poverty alleviation strategy. Since then, the fund has been instrumental in the implementation of a number of projects throughout several underserved communities. Initially started as a temporary fund, JSIF has been serving the nation in the areas of health, education, the environment, agriculture, water, infrastructural development, and skills training, among others. To date, JSIF has completed over 1,000 projects that have assisted at least 1 million Jamaicans.
What we try to do, all those activities, is an attempt at making community members stronger, as people would say, empowering them, that they will be able to manage their lives.
That's no easy feat. And to make the best use of available resources, JSIF has partnered with both local and international bodies. These partnerships help to further strengthen the fund's efforts to reach the communities that are most in need of its services. A major project implemented by JSIF in 2009 is the Japan Social Development Fund, JSDF, which is administered by the World Bank and has helped approximately 62 volatile communities, including the 12 targeted under the Inner City Basic Services Project, ICBSP. Taking the unconventional approach to reducing the incidences of crime and violence, JSDF liaised with community-based outreach groups and non-government organizations and has invested in skills training and family support sessions.
A number of these youths were considered to be high school dropouts, persons belonging to gangs, persons with a previous criminal record, persons who have not been exposed to any form of skills training, so they are basically unemployable. The training centered on two different components. There was the skills training and there's the life skills training.
Among the community-based groups working along with the JSDF are Operation Friendship and the Heart Trust NTA.
The collaboration between JSIF and Operation Friendship has been one of great excitement. As you know, JSIF works in selected communities in the inner city, and young people are recruited from these communities. Young people who are sitting at the corner, young people who are desirous of learning a skill, and they are taken to us here at Operation Friendship, where we train them.
Meet Marco Brown, who has received training in electrical installation from Operation Friendship.
Over the past year and months, I've learned a lot. They teach me motor control circuit, bell circuit, simple circuits, series and parallel circuits, how to wire them and so forth. Teach me how to wire a photocell, a fluorescent lamp. So the process of engaging in the process have been tremendous. I've learned a lot.
Firstest is also another participant who has benefited from the work of JSDF through the Heart Trust NTA.
My mother told me about JSIF program, that it is it's nothing that's going to cost me. I just need to make myself available for the program. So I signed the form and come over here. Coming here, they teach me to lay blocks, bricklaying, flashing of wall, rendering, stuff like that. And I'm waiting on mine now. Instead of my career in business, I'm becoming building contractor, really. I really did well here, and all because of JSIF. Didn't cost me anything just to come here. And we also get stipend, lunch every day, stuff like that. So I really appreciated the effort.
I want to say a big thank you to JSIF for believing in these youngsters. They are making a tremendous impact because empowering and providing a skill for the persons in these vulnerable communities is going a far way in empowering our citizens to contribute to their economic livelihood for themselves, for their family, and for Jamaica to be a better place.
These stories of transformation and renewal keep the Jamaica Social Investment Fund focused on delivering resources to targeted communities and groups with the view to improve their quality of life. For more information on JSIF, call their toll-free line 1-888-991-2356-7. Send an email to feedback@jsif.org or visit their website www.jsif.org. The Jamaica Social Investment Fund, investing for community development.
Best thing right now in the country, helping youths called pre-dismiss. It's not easy for a youth who is not working proper sum of money to send himself to art or any institution. So CSJP now funding you, because when more time them tell you the figure, you know, miss, how much it costs, we could find that amount of money. So what they are doing, miss, wonderful. In our community, you might have section which divided up. So when all of us now start to go to class together, miss, starting, you have person who are going to sit left, some are going to sit right. But you see, by weeks and weeks after, all of us just come as one, miss. You even start running both together, miss. When you start know a thing now, it's different from when you're not knowing. Because growing up, I always hear people say, don't go there, so don't go there, so I rate it. But knowing each other now, miss, you really see that it is not as our people put it at times. It's different.
The Citizen Security and Justice Program, CSJP, an initiative of the Ministry of National Security, promoting peace and building communities while empowering the lives of unattached youth one day at a time.
Crime and violence keeps rearing its ugly head, lashing out in various areas of our society. It's up to us as a people to ensure that we remove each tentacle and continue on the path of growth and development. We need to be each other's keeper. It's said that it takes a village to raise a child. Well, let's extend that adage. It takes a village to work with every member of the family to ensure that each unit operates at its best. Think positive. How many times have you heard that there is no turnaround, no hope, that Jamaica will be consumed by the cost of this or that, or by another hurricane? And then out of the ashes we rise and we live to tell the tale of how we overcame once again. Think on these situations and recognize that when united, Jamaicans are always on top. Be grateful. We are blessed. We are proud Jamaicans. Let's stand for peace, justice, unity, love. Let's work together to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
No one is above the law. We encourage all Jamaicans to join the fight against corruption, organized criminality, these nefarious activities that stymies our country's progress. I want to encourage all Jamaicans to call. We have a secure line, 1-800-CORRUPT. Call anytime and we will treat the information received with the highest standard of confidentiality. We need your help. We want to elicit your support.
Call 1-800-CORRUPT. That's 1-800-267-7878. Be the change. Report corruption today.
March is being recognized as Fraud Prevention Month. One of the activities being conducted during the period is a series of public awareness campaigns about the pitfalls of scamming. These campaigns target school-aged children, and the first school to participate in the initiative was the Glendevon Primary and Junior High School.
Wise up, you, myself, wise up, you. A scammer, you want me to turn? Me not take that to the world. Me not go use no digi, nor no line to commit no fraudulent crime. Wise up, you. so you can get a good grade on your GSAT.
It's better to learn the communication task so it won't cause an alarm when someone you have to ask to fill out a simple form.
So guess what? Everybody read this to me now. Lottery scamming. Stop it before it stops you. Don't start.
This is really an intervention or an approach, a proactive approach that we're using to curb lottery scamming through social development. Because if we can get children to understand that lottery scamming is wrong and that it is a crime, right, then we will be starting a change.
Wise up, you, Mr. Wise up, you.
My girl, don't be a phone confederate. That's not what it means to be literate.
Use their knowledge, use their mind, for the betterment of mankind.
All of this is coming from my heart. So use education to play your part.
Get a good education. Stop lotto scamming before it stops you.
I want to ask you something this morning. Tell me, who wants to be scammed? Anybody here want to be scammed? No. That means you know what scamming is? Oh, you all know what scamming is? All right. Scamming is what? Tell me. It is stealing. You believe that? Of course, because it's not yours, and you call somebody, you know what they do when they scam? You call and you tell somebody that they win something. You know about that? When they didn't win anything, and you trick them and then you get them to send their money. It's not yours, so it is. It is stealing, and it is a trick, and it is pretending.
We know one, a lot of scamming, yeah. Learn alphabets and every little thing. Learn how to spell and they are reading. Pay attention when teacher teaching. Run go to school before the bell ring. We know one, a lot of scamming, yeah.
We are going to be targeting also the high schools and the community colleges. And we are also going to be targeting the parent-teachers associations, the parent-teachers meeting, because we have to spread the message. Lottery scamming is wrong. It's a crime.
How can we prevent scamming?
By not tricking people.
Oh, give it up for him. Give it up. Come on, give it up for him. Such a brilliant young man. We have one more question. I'm going to ask you to give a statement. If you should say something to the scammers in Montego Bay, what would you say?
They should not scam because it will make them go to jail.
I think it is the way forward, not only for our school community, but also for the nation.
I believe that the MOCA team is doing a good job, and I would just like to encourage them to continue to go into more schools, as lottery scamming must be stopped, and it begins with the younger generation.
We know one, a lot of scamming, yeah.
If you want to be something that you see and who do him running, put on the phone, don't alpha when the law catch you. Ting-a-ling-a-ling. Use up your hand and do the right thing. When result come,
We know one, a lot of scamming, yeah. We know one, a lot of scamming, yeah. We know one, a lot of scamming, yeah.
And we've come to the end of another episode of Jamaica Magazine. I hope you enjoyed the time you spent with us today. Please use our Facebook and Twitter pages to let us know how you're helping to keep your community crime-free. Stay up to date through our YouTube channel and website, jis.gov.jm, and of course by downloading the JIS News app from the Google Play Store. I'm Adrian Atkinson. On behalf of the hardworking production team here at the JIS, continue to take the steps each day that will take you toward your goals.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.